All right, I like what I'm seeing, guys. SoFi stock's up over 4% on the day so far as we're almost in power hour. Yeah, it's about 2:45 p.m. East Coast time right now. Almost power hour, guys, and SoFi is ripping, as is the entire stock market. We're talking the S&P and the Russell. They're each up zero point 0.4, or actually more like zero point 0.2, 0.3%. The Dow's up zero point 0.4, and the NASDAQ? Yeah, the NASDAQ 100 QQQ is up over 0.75%. So we're looking phenomenal across the board. We have to break down the charts, go over what I'm looking to do, where my head's at, the whole 9 yards, guys. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates. I actually just posted one yesterday. We also break down chart ideas, trade ideas there. There's a Discord. All of that is linked down below. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive into it. So, SoFi up over 4%. We're up now over $30 again, as again, the entire market is moving. And we can see here SoFi is officially taking out the highs from yesterday, right? And from the week before, or last week rather, and the week before last week. So, we're now really gaining momentum on the 1 hour chart. You guys can see that inverse head and shoulders. Not to toot my own horn, but we called it out. That is playing out beautifully. We have the left shoulder here, the head, the right shoulder. We're starting to, push through now. And at this point, guys, we're pretty much a one-stop shop, or a one-way ticket away, whatever you want to call it. We're right there to potentially get to $32 again, $33 again, which would put us at all-time highs. We're a stone's throw away from that. And at this point, the fact that, again, we took out the highs from yesterday, last week, the week before that, it looks like, yeah, we're getting there sooner rather than later, guys. And we can see on the 4 hour on SoFi here, we don't have a golden cross yet, but it looks like it's on the horizon. The 50 SMA is about to cross through the 180 SMA here. But forget about that, because, we're above these moving averages. We're noticing the inverse head and shoulders on this time frame as well, and this really shows you that, okay, we're pretty much one breakout away from that $32.50, $33 level. And if you look at this time frame here on the 4 hour, we can see now we're pretty much at the high from back in the middle end of September, which we hit just over $30 at that time. And at that time, SoFi was pretty much going up in a straight line with minimal pullbacks, and we've kind of been flat since. If you guys take a look at SoFi, the stock's been trading sideways for a good 3 months now, 2.5, 3 months, and it's starting to get that momentum back up. But we just have to get through that $30.50 resistance, which I think we're going to break through. We're testing it right now. And if it does push through 30.50, I think we're going 32.50, $33 a share, and ultimately the mid 30s. I think we're going mid 30s on SoFi, pretty soon here. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments where your head's at on these charts, kind of where, what you guys are doing. I'm curious. And I got a question yesterday about SoFi. I'm in this stock at a much cheaper price. You guys know that. I started buying SoFi at like $5, $6 a share, bought all the way up to pretty much $13, $14. So you guys know I'm in at a much lower price. And I got a question, Stas, would you buy SoFi stock today at the price it is now? The guy, I think he said, yeah, I think he said, he's like, Stas, I know you're in at a much cheaper price, but would you buy it at today's levels? And that's a valid question. And the reality is, guys, I probably would not buy it as a long-term investment at these levels, if I'm perfectly honest. And I've said this before a couple of times, many times actually, but as a swing trade, I would buy it. I would buy it if we break through this level. And quite frankly, I would have been buying it in the 27, 28 range. But now I want to see if it takes out $30.50. If it does, again, that's a trading opportunity up to 32, 33. And ultimately, I do see it going back to $35, or not back to, it's never been, but to $35. But, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Is SoFi a screaming deal here? I don't think it necessarily is. Maybe that's going to get some people mad out there. I don't know. That's just my opinion, which is why I haven't really bought SoFi in a little bit here, guys. But I was close to actually buying more in my long term portfolio about a week ago when it was slipping in the low 23s. I've mentioned before how I would buy more SoFi if it got to 20 bucks, $18 a share. I would buy more there. But it didn't. It didn't get there. It hit 23.50. Then we pretty much V-shape recovered back to where we are now. And you guys have to realize for long-term investments, at least for me, I'm super picky on where I add. It's super. You got to be nuts about it almost in terms of where you add your long-term positions, because I can't say it enough. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. You don't just want to buy any old stock at any old price. You have to be very, picky with where you're adding your individual stocks. So for me, I was close to buying at 23, but I really wanted it in the 18 to 20 level. And I told myself, look, if it does not get there, I'm not adding more. Simple as that. And you have to be strict with what with where you buy stocks, your criteria, all of that. And, that's the reality right now with SoFi. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments kind of where you're at. I'm curious, guys, but yeah, that's the quick rundown there. We had a couple other stocks crush it today. I mean, the day's still not over, but we are seeing a bunch of other movers. Intel is ripping like no other again today, guys. 7.6% day for Intel. We got some news regarding Apple a couple days ago. Here we got news this morning. Intel is going to invest $208 million in Malaysia chip testing center. That's interesting. Looks like here it's the best performer in the NASDAQ 100 today. So Intel is going absolutely nuts. The stock saw a healthy pullback finally a couple days ago, or not days, weeks ago. It started pulling back in November from about 42 down to about $32. 22% drawdown, but now clearly it's starting to rebound. And honestly, guys, at this point, I would be selling into this strength. I would be dumping if I was in it. Personally, I think we're going to get a bigger pullback on Intel. Maybe it goes a little higher. Who knows? $45, $47 a share. Now it's at 43. But I think it's getting a bit overbought. So I would be selling the strength. Call me crazy if I was in it. Let's see. What else is going green today, guys? Looking pretty good so far. Coinbase is up about 3-4%. Yeah, Coinbase is beaten up. So this could be a nice rebound candidate if Bitcoin, in my opinion, Bitcoin gets back over 100K. I think we're going back over 100K, guys, sooner rather than later. I think this dump from 127 to 80,000, I think it was just a massive healthy pullback, massive. I mean, we've seen bigger drops, but crypto, Bitcoin, how it works, it was a healthy pullback. I don't think we're necessarily going to slip down to 50, 60K on this drawdown. Maybe we do. I don't know. But I think ultimately we'll be back over 100K soon here. And I think Coinbase is going to be a nice rebound candidate. And you guys can see, I mean, all the crypto-oriented stocks did well today or are doing well today as Bitcoin stabilizing. The market's coming up a little bit. I mean, it's not just Coinbase. Stocks like Circle Internet Group up 3-4%. I own this stock. DeFi Technologies up 10% today. Nice move. Back over $1.40, and we have a cup and handle on DeFi Technologies, which looks like it wants to play out. Keep your eyes on it, guys. So yeah, a lot of these crypto-oriented plays are moving. Again, Coinbase, Circle, couple other ones that we're not mentioning, but yeah, solid day across the board today so far, guys, and the market only keeps creeping up more as now we're heading into power hour, which is phenomenal. That's great news. And at this point, SPY, QQQ, they're really starting to build up some momentum off the lows. and we're starting to break out. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and join the Patreon if you want to see how I build a portfolio with real money. Literally, guys, we're investing $1,000 a week right now, and we're blowing up this portfolio in a good way, right? My mission right now is to really grow that portfolio. So if you want to see how I'm doing that, be a part of the Discord, get more access to me throughout the week, my chart ideas, breakdowns, all of that is on Patreon, and it's only $10 a month or $20 depending on what tier you pick, which is a no-brainer, guys. Listen, how often are you just blowing $10, $20 on random crap that you're not getting value from? You're literally going to spend $10 a month and get a bunch of value out of the Patreon, see how I build a portfolio, Discord, all of that. Come on, ask yourself, what's more valuable, that or going and blowing your money on Chipotle burrito? It's a no-brainer, man. The value's there. So check it out. I'm done pitching it. Link down below. It's in the comments as well. I'll see you guys in there. And with that being said, cheers. Have a great rest of your day.